Traffic, looking for my chapstick, feeling kind of car sick. There's a Ford Maverick. Bet y'all can't tell me what movie that's from. Anyway, good morning, Carolina Jackpot time coming at you on Sunday. It's about 10 a.m. I'm headed out to one of my grocery stores to fill up some on-the-border chips and potato chips in lieu of the, should be some business today for the NFL games this afternoon. And guess what? Doesn't look like I'm going to make it there before the NFL games start. This is absolutely ridiculous. Why do all you people have to move to South Carolina? Anyway, nice win by the Gamecocks last night, 47-21 over Furman and Williams-Brice Stadium in front of a reported sold-out crowd. I have my doubts about that from what I saw. But nonetheless, it was a great night in Williams-Brice, a great day to be a Gamecock, which it's always a great day to be a Gamecock. And last night's performance was, I'm going to go on ahead and say I'm going to give it a solid B-. There were some things that I saw, a lot of things I saw that I liked. There were some things that I did not like as well. I don't like starting slow, and they started slow last night. Had fallen behind Furman 14-7 at one point in the second quarter. Furman is a really good FCS team. They're ranked number 7. They're probably going to win the Southern Conference this year. Still, you know, I don't like starting out slow against them, but you saw that happen all over college football yesterday. Clemson started out slow with Charleston Southern. Tennessee started out slow with Austin Peay, and they never really, you know, got up off the mat. I mean, they didn't blow them out like they should have. Even Georgia started out kind of slow yesterday against Ball State. So it's, you know, these teams come in to these big time atmospheres, play these big games against quality competition from, you know, the SEC or the ACC or whatever conference have you, and they'll punch you in the mouth. They're not there just to collect a paycheck. They're there to make a showing for themselves. Thank goodness South Carolina was able to overpower them. Spencer Rattler last night I want to talk about. I can't say enough. 25 of 27 through the air last night for about 345 yards. Just amazing. A couple touchdown passes. He had a QBR of like 96. That's got to be his highest QBR, definitely since the Tennessee game last year. If they had left him in there, we would have scored 60 points easily, probably more than that. But they pulled him out. In the third quarter, you saw the true freshman, Lenora Sellers, make his first appearance in a Gamecock uniform, and he was lights out. 4 for 4 for 86 yards, 2 touchdowns, one of them just an absolute picture-perfect throw to a young man whose name escapes me right now, but that was a beautiful play, and he could have had a touchdown down the other sideline to Nick Harbor, who made an appearance last night, also caught a touchdown pass from Sellers. And we even got the 4th string, Luke Doty came in. He took care of business as well. And then you got, caught a touchdown pass, you got the 4th string quarterback, Tanner Bailey, even saw some action for a couple of throws. So great game by the Gamecocks. On that end of the spectrum, I was not real impressed with the running game from Dak Joyner. I don't know, and we can't sit here and say, well, the line is not blocking for him, Jackpot. Last night, on 37 attempts through the air, South Carolina had 4 quarterback pressures. We didn't have them against them. Furman got 4 quarterback pressures against the Gamecocks. They did have 1 sack, it says on the stats. I don't remember seeing that. It must have been late in the game. But only 4 pressures. So that would also lead me to believe they run blocked pretty well also. 11 carries, like 42, 43 yards. That's not getting it. That just ain't going to cut it. I don't think he is him as far as RB1. I did see some nice flashes from Mario Anderson Jr., the kid from Newberry, and I told you in the offseason that I thought this guy could be something special for us. He only carried the ball 6 times, but if you look at it, he had a 5.3 yard per carry average. So, if he carried the ball, 20 times, that's over 100 yards. So he did a nice job for us. I saw some explosiveness when he had the football in his hands, just a little bit. He's got a little bit of shit to him. So I think that he definitely might be in the plans in the future for South Carolina. Dak I mean, he scored a touchdown last night, but I don't know. I don't think this running back position thing is not, I mean, it'll work out. I mean, he can play the position, but, you know, playing it and being really successful at it are two totally different things. Defensively, looked really good last night. South Carolina did a really good job of stopping the run. They held Furman to, I think, 80 yards rushing on the evening, and Furman has been a really good... God, why is this exit closed? Man, you got to be shitting me. Now I've got to totally redo my... I'm sorry. The South Carolina Department of Transportation, I'm going to go off on a tangent here. I don't have anything to do with football. So fast forward if you don't want to hear. The South Carolina Department of Transportation is a botched up mess. It's a botched up mess. South Carolina's whole government system is a botched up mess. It's just shit. It is. You know, they started a lottery up 23 years ago. South Carolina Education Lottery. All this was out. Well, you know what? All I do in the stores is go in and see people buying scratch-offs and damn Powerball tickets and everything else here, there, and yonder. They're buying a damn ton of them. I know, because I buy some of them myself. What, we still got the worst schools in America? We're ranked like 48th, 49th, yet everybody wants to move here. Oh, we want to move to South Carolina. Yeah. You know, there's a place up the road from here. It's called Little Texas. It's between like Taylor's and Travelers Rest, called Little Texas. You know what? Rename it Little Jersey. I mean, because that's what we've got here. And this is just ridiculous with all this damn traffic and construction. And while they're working on this same exit, they have been working on this exit for 5 years. If you don't know anything about where I'm at, I'm on I-85 going from Greenville towards Spartanburg. This is the exit number 54 off I-85. It's Pelham Road. This exit right here used to just be a freaking conglomeration of a fucked up mess every morning and afternoon because it was a busy exit. There were a ton of people trying to get off on it. So what they did was built another lane over there, and they kind of extended the exit out probably a half of a mile so that all the traffic would get out over there and then get onto that to get off at the Pelham Road exit. They finally were done with it in, I'd say, about the 1st of June. And it worked great. It worked great. I came down this same exact route in my chip truck every day to go to the warehouse. And guess what? Not sitting in a mess of traffic anymore. What do we have now? We're working on it again. We're working on it again. Look at that over there. What's all that concrete pipes? What's all that crap? Why? I mean, and now we're having to sit in traffic on a, you know, I mean, I guess it's smart to do it on a Sunday morning because, you know, nobody's in a hurry, I guess, to get to work on Sunday morning. I mean, God forbid those who are in a hurry to get to work on Sunday. This is just absolutely stupid. So they can't get anything right here. You can't just start a project, you know, get it in a timely manner, complete it, and be done with it. I have seen these little barricades right here, and these cones, and the orange signs and shit up and down this damn interstate for 30 years. 30 years. It ain't changed none. I'm 48 years old now. I've been driving since I was 15, and there have been orange cones, lane blockers, these little things to make a tunnel out of the side of the road for 30 years plus. It's absolutely maddening to me. When are you ever just gonna get it fixed, South Carolina? Anyway, getting off that tangent. Looked good last night. No, South Carolina did, like I said, they allowed the 1 sack, which I don't even remember that taking place. Got 3 sacks of their own, which is good. You know, to see, you know, there was obviously no sacks the other week against UNC. You know, Sellers balled out. That looked good to me. The offensive line played much better. I know it was an FCS team, but it was a good FCS team. Furman is maybe one notch below Vanderbilt. If Furman played at Vanderbilt, the opening line would probably be Vandy -7. So just to put that into perspective, that's what they beat last night. It was quality competition. But I'm not going to sit here and toot my horn for a year and say, well, it blew out a good FCS team. Beep, beep, beep. It was good. It was a good win for the Gamecocks. So yeah, I can't say a whole lot more about it. It's on to Georgia next week. Of course, 45-3 win over Ball State yesterday. They didn't cover the spread. They didn't fail to cover. It was a push. They landed right on the number of what it was. It was Georgia minus 42 points. They looked slow and sluggish in the first quarter. They really got it going in the second quarter. And for the rest of the game there, Carson Beck looked really good yesterday. So next Saturday is going to be it's going to be tough for South Carolina. It's going to be tough sledding in Athens. I have no doubt, and I think Juice Wells will probably be in the game. He was ready to play last night, but they just held him out because it was Furman, and I think they would have probably put him in there if they had needed him, if that thing had gotten tight or out of hand. But he really just didn't go last night. He'll be going against Georgia, so that's another something that they have to look out for that hasn't been seen on film this year. They haven't seen him in that Dowell Loggins offense, so South Carolina's putting the ball in the air a lot. But I'm just really, really concerned with that lack of running game. That's really gonna hurt us when we go down there, because with Georgia's defensive line and those linebackers in that secondary, they're going to key on Spencer Rattler all afternoon long, knowing that they're not going to be a threat running the ball. Nobody's really a threat running the ball against Georgia. So, hopefully, we get some ball security, we play a clean game, and we don't have any turnovers, so we may stand a chance in the thing, or at least stand a chance of making it competitive. But, we start turning the ball over, and so Rattler starts getting sacked a bunch, and we start seeing some of that old North Carolina shit again, we might as well just, go pee up a rope, because we're not gonna hang in there. Oh, by the way, and I did a little rant yesterday during the games, Appalachian State took UNC to overtime, pushed them to the max. UNC missed a field goal at the end of the game that would have tied it, but I think App State could have called timeout or jumped off sides or something. So UNC tried the field goal again and missed it. The game went to overtime. UNC won. But I saw the line was UNC minus 18 against App State, and I knew that could not be right. I knew that App State was better than that, and that game was going to be tight. They always play tight games. UNC, of course, losing to them in 2019 in Chapel Thrill, and then almost losing to them last year in Boone in a game that was just absolutely nuts. And North Carolina won 63-61. Folks, they're not that good of a team. And so that, to me, is very concerning going into Georgia, going into SEC play, how South Carolina performed against a team that, I was right about them. My hunch was right. They're just not that good. They're average at best. If you want to talk about the landscape of the, to me, these teams that are ranked probably from about 15 to 50 in the AP poll, from 15 through 25, which is your regular poll, and then the rest of the teams down that would be ranked all the way about number 50. A lot of them they're one and the same, and any of them could beat any of them on a given Saturday. When you step up and in class and you knock off one of the teams that's actually in the top 15, I think you're really doing something. But North Carolina's not. They're in the middle of that mix. They ain't nothing special. They are nothing special. So that's disappointing, but that's why we play the game. South Carolina's going to take their A+ effort to Georgia this coming Saturday. I have no doubt about that, and we're going to let the chips fall where they may and see what happens. I think it will definitely be a much better game than it was last year, and I think I'm not going to sit here and say, Georgia, you better be ready. You better be looking for a fight. You better be ready for 4 quarters, because we're going to bring it to you. But South Carolina is going to play a competitive game. I absolutely feel that. So anyway, I'm going to kind of recap some of these games later on this afternoon if I can ever get out of this traffic mess and get back home and get my wits about me. Got another new puppy yesterday. So it's a pug dog, little girl. So that's kind of like, you know, we're kind of holding on to her whenever, you know, I'm not doing anything else essential. She's like in somebody's arms. Her feet's not hitting the floor yet. So anyway, I'll see you guys later on. I appreciate what you do. Hit the subscribe button if you like the content that you hear today. And I'll see y'all later. Appreciate it. Peace. I'm out of here. Go Gamecocks. Woo!